Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta. It's time for us to take on the first optional super boss, Omega. Now, one thing that will make this battle a little bit easier is you set the thing on wait, and then you move the battle speed to as slow as you possibly can go. Otherwise, Omega's gonna go really, really fast, and you won't have time to really like enter a bunch of commands. So my initial strategy was, I was trying to Dark Shock Omega, and then attack him with X-Fighted Chicken Knife. Unfortunately, Chicken Knife didn't do a whole bunch of damage, because Omega has really high defense. I was hoping to use Goblin Punch, the blue magic Goblin Punch. That's why everyone has blue on them, because Goblin Punch does 8 times as much damage if the character's the same level as you. Now, Omega is level 119, so if we hit him with the Dark Shock, that'll put his level down to 59, and all my characters are level 59. Unfortunately, his defense is so high that even with the Chicken Knife, wasn't doing anything. So I had to sort of mimic that strategy, but instead, I managed to do it with Krile. Krile, she has whatchamacallit, the lightning bow, the thunder bow here. So she can use the blue Goblin Punch to do 8 times damage, and because it's thunder and Omega is weak against thunder, his defense really doesn't take into account that thunder. So that's the only way I was able to actually do a lot of damage. So TnyToe and Lenna are just here to basically be support, to throw up the White Wind. Now, Omega, he has a really crazy AI script. So his first turn, he's going to have a 33% chance to either use Atomic Ray, Delta Attack, or Blaster. Blaster is like instant defeat, so that's why I had to have everyone here with the Bone Mail. That would mean, of course, that we can't really heal, but thankfully we're a blue mage, so we can use White Wind. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to heal, like, another way. His second turn, he's going to use the Wave Cannon, which inflicts sap and does 50% of your max health. So, that's why White Wind comes in handy there. His third turn, he either uses Rainbow Wind, Flamethrower, or Atomic Ray. The Flamethrower and Atomic Ray can deal a lot of damage because we're in the Bone Mail. That's why it was important that the first thing that we did was get up Mighty Guard, because it gives us the shell status, and it also floats us, because Omega has a chance on his 5th turn to use Earthquake. He takes 2 turns in a row that turn. 33% chance to use Delta Attack, Blaster, or Wave Cannon, followed by 33% chance to use Maelstrom, Earthquake, or Rainbow Wind. Rainbow Wind just inflicts a bunch of status ailments on you, but the Bone Mail helps prevent against that. So, then his 6th turn, he uses a Search. That's usually when you want to do damage to him, because he'll search somebody, and if you have the Reflect spell up, any counter that he does on you will hit him instead. His 7th turn, 32% chance to use Rainbow Wind, Flamethrower, or Atomic Ray, and on whatever character he searched. His 8th turn uses Wave Cannon, and then he goes back and he does that AI script again. So the good thing here with the slowing things down is it allows us to basically input enough commands to not be overwhelmed by him, because he can be really overwhelming, because 1, he's really fast, and 2, every time you deal damage to him, he counters with Rocket Punch, 2/3 chance to use Rocket Punch, or 1/3 chance to use Mustard Bomb, and then he'll counter again with either 2/3 chance to use Rocket Punch or 1/3 chance to use Encircle. So the Bone Mail helps prevent against the confusion that the Rocket Punch does. So that's another good reason to have the Bone Mail up. So this battle took so long to do because Omega has massive magic defense and evasion. So basically what I had to do was I had to get Big Guard up right away, follow that immediately with the Magic Lantern to summon Carbuncle. Carbuncle gives everybody the Reflect spell for a few turns, and during those few turns I had to cast Dark Shock on my characters. Now Omega has I think 95% magic evasion, and he has a magic defense of 190. So the chance of Dark Shock going through is basically 1% to get through. So what ended up happening was a lot of times I would, cast the spell, cast Carbuncle. Carbuncle would appear, give me the Reflect spell for several turns, and during those turns I just basically cast Dark Shock and kept trying to reflect it onto Omega. You unfortunately can't target Omega with Dark Shock right away because Omega has a built-in reflect, so you have to reflect it off of yourself. That caused a lot of resets because I only have a set amount of time before Carbuncle's reflect wears off on my characters. So if the Dark Shock doesn't work by the time my reflect runs out, well then basically the battle's over. I can't do anything. You can tell when reflect runs out because your characters will no longer be glowing blue. Different status ailments give you different colors. Like if you're hasted, you're red. Right now we have shell on us, so we're yellow. When we have reflect status on you, you glow blue. So as soon as that blue glow ran off, then I knew, well, reflect is gone. And if I wasn't lucky enough to get a Dark Shock to reflect on Omega, well, then the battle's basically over. So luckily, like I said, this took multiple times. Like I said, it's a 1% chance basically, but I had to do it more than 100 times. But eventually I managed to get it to stick, and once I did, I was like, oh, please, 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 let it work. So actually one time, when I found out that the chicken knife wouldn't do any damage, because it's basically 8 times, I guess, after it takes into Omega's defense. So even with the chicken knife, I was only doing like maybe like 100 and some damage, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna cut through Omega's hit points with that. So I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get a weapon that has, built-in lightning attack to it. Otherwise, Omega's defense is, just gonna override the attack power. So even though the chicken knife is much, much stronger than the Thunderbow, Krile can do damage with a Thunderbow because it ignores Omega's defense, because Omega is weak against Thunder. So it doesn't basically counts like his defense is at 0. So that was nice. Like I said, it's just a matter of now. One thing I did, I probably could have made this battle go much, much faster, because I wasn't taking into account that reflect. I don't have the reflect spell on anymore, so I was mainly waiting until Omega did his targeting attack. So I basically absorb a bunch of his attacks, waiting for him to get to that target part in his AI, because normally, like I said, when I did the other things, I'd wait until he targeted, because when I fought him, like for example, when I fought him in the last 4-job Fiesta, I was able to have everyone reflect on, and then because I could keep summoning Carbuncle, so when he would counterattack my damage that I did to him, he would just hit himself. But it didn't really matter with here because no one had the reflect spell on, so I could have still been attacking him right now, but it wouldn't have mattered. But lessons learned. So the thing is, like I said, this battle is just gonna go a little bit longer than it needed to, but once I was pretty much set up with the Dark Spark on him to get his level down to a point where Krile, like I said, could do that 8 times damage, it was just a matter of, waiting my biding my time to, you know, get to the right point to deal damage to him, so... I tried, when I couldn't do, the Dark Spark, I was trying to do, the Blowfish, which is guaranteed to do, 1,000 damage, but, that was just taking way too long, and eventually something like this would pop up and finish me off, so... Yeah, this, just really helped out, so... I guess theoretically, you could defeat him with the Blowfish. Blowfish, you know, does an automatic 1,000 damage, so you'd have to hit him 56 times with it. So, kind of tough, but it's doable. So I've read about people doing a solo chemist run, and they had to use Shadow Flare, and that took 49 Shadow Flares to defeat him. But, you know, they managed to do it, so it's possible, but, like I said, I was just, I got lucky with the Goblin Punch, with Krile and the Thunderbow. I think there's a knife that, also has Thunder Elemental. I know there's a sword that has, the, Thunder Elemental, so I theoretically could have had TnyToe and Lenna join in on the attacking, but, I didn't know where to get those weapons, where I knew right away in Crescent is where the elemental bows were, so... Krile got lucky and, got to be the person to do the honor of taking out Omega with, damage, so... Lucky Krile, so... Now, one bad thing though is, after I did all this, lucky I saved the game, but then something came corrupted, and, what ended up happening was I had to go back and, download the ROM again, but I couldn't find the new translation. I'm using a new translation here that uses the Game Boy Advance, script and names. I couldn't find it, anywhere online, so I ended up having to get the old patch, the initial patch that somebody did a long time ago. I think it was called RPGE that did the initial translation. So for the next video, where I take on Shin Ryu, the names are going to be a little bit different. Like Krile will be Kara, but I guess a while ago they started doing cutting back on, or like, you know, Nintendo had a few lawsuits against sites that were distributing ROMs, which are the downloads of the games. So they, a lot of places stopped giving those old translations of ROMs, so I couldn't find the new translation, but I got the old one here, so. But that's okay, because I'll have 3 4-job Fiestas with the translated ROM and with the Game Boy Advance translation, and again 3 without. So with the old translations, you'll see a little bit of, you know, the script change. So yeah, I do have a copy of the. I imported a copy of this game. So I have the Japanese Super Famicom version of this game. That way I don't feel bad, like I don't feel like I'm, you know, stealing. I got, because I have the game, I own the game. I just don't have the translated version of the game. So, I just download a translation patch online. So, it just helps me sleep better at night. So, and I definitely slept a lot better once I finally managed to defeat Omega. So I was keeping track. I said Krile's doing about 6,200 damage when she attacks. So it's basically 9 hits to finish him off. So 9 hits and some change. I think it ended up taking me. So, but like I said, 9 hits and then a blowfish could have finished him off. So. It's been a while since I actually saw this, so I forget how I finished him off. So I don't know if I did a blowfish to finish him off, but Yeah, because after this I had to prepare for Shinryu with the other optional super boss, and he took a little bit of different planning to do, so I had to set things up. So luckily, in setting up the carbuncle through the magic lantern, it sets it up for the golem summon, which will be more important for Shinryu for that fight. So this is where I got really, really scared, because I'm like, oh lord, you know, my characters are so, one more Surge Beam would have taken them out. Even right now, another Surge Beam would take them out, so I had to get three white ones real quick. This is where it helped that I had it on the wait mode, and the battle speed as slow as possible, because otherwise, you know, Omega probably would have taken another turn before I got all these heals in, and probably would have wiped me out, and you know, I would have had to restart all over again. And like I said, I probably did this battle like 50, 60 times before I managed to get that Dark Spark to hit. Because, yeah, if you don't get that Dark Spark in there, you're not going to be able to use the Goblin Punch, and you're not going to be able to do that 8 times damage. So, yeah, Krile would only be doing 800 hit points at a time, so 855, you know, 1,000 divided by, you know, 800, you're looking at a lot. I can bring up my calculator here real quick and figure that out, so good old all these free apps. So 550 divided by 8 is, you're looking at about 69 times to hit him. Don't think I'd be able to last that long. Speaking of making that even longer, I'm just looking right now. Yeah, you had to cast Big Guard first, because Big Guard can be reflected, so if you tried to use like Carbuncle first through the Magic Lantern, and then used Big Guard, yeah, the Big Guard would be reflected back onto Omega. And yeah, he does not need any more help being, like I said, his defense is massive, as is. And he also has the built-in Safe and Shell spell to him, so even if you do target him with like his weakness, the lightning, it's only gonna do you know, half damage because it has a built-in shell. That also makes it really tough to get that Dark Spark on him too, so that of course helps, you know, build up his magic resistance. So, but ooh, good old Goblin Punching. Good thing. I also got lucky in a sense that Soko totally removes a character from battle. As you can see, it removed Lenna from battle. But luckily, all the other times you tried to use Soko, it missed. So, yeah, that's one thing that we can't really protect against, at least with the characters that we have. Like if we were a chemist, you can put some, like a drink mix to make your character heavy status, and that would prevent, but Bone Mail did prevent a lot of stuff like confusion from Rocket Punch and that blast or instant death, so whew, that was good. But with this, we defeated Omega, and we get the Omega Medal, and we get free reign of this little thing. We don't have to worry about avoiding him anymore. So, first thing you do when you defeat Omega, you instantly run back to the save point and save. You might have noticed I had Faris knocked out that entire battle, and the reason I did that was because, remember, Omega counters any damage done to him with that Rocket Punch, and potentially the Soko move, and we didn't want that to happen because Faris, you know, being berserked, we wouldn't be able to control her, and she'd just be potentially getting all our characters circled and removed from battle. So that's why she was knocked out the entire thing. But well, that's it for this episode. Come back to the next one where I take on Shinryu. Have a good day. Bye.